Good morning, everyone. Lori Marie here, mixed media artist in Vallejo, California. Some of you, and you know who you are, have requested that I dip some tea bags. So that is the fun that we're going to have today. So I want to give a shout out to Adele. Thank you, Adele, for contributing to PayPal me. I find this village absolutely amazing. So supportive. Every contribution that I get, I do send out a little love letter with some goodies in it. So Adele, it's on its way. And thank you again ever so much. So yeah, let's go play with some wax and tea bags. See you on the table. So this is what we're creating today. My village, my village. I took the tea bags and I put images in them and I dipped them in the beeswax. So you are going to learn how to do that today. This is an image that I dipped in the beeswax, and this is for tomorrow's project. So we'll set him aside, and these are the 6 tea bags that I have no idea. I'm going to set these aside because they will eventually go on a dress. And the way that I put them on a dress is I take this tag off and I poke a hole in the dress with a large needle and I sew that onto the dress and I add a button for embellishment. So that's what I do with them. You can do many, many things with them, I am sure. So put your creative thinking caps on and let me know what you've come up with. But there they are. The tea bags dipped in wax. I love wax. I'm going to leave the overhead light on just for a little while until it gets a little bit lighter outside. All right, the supplies that you're going to need. You're going to need a ruler. You're going to need some tea bags. We'll talk about these further in a moment. You're going to need some images that are laser printed, not inkjet. I'm hoping that these are laser print. They're out of my inventory, so I'm hoping that these are in fact laser print. We shall see. Look at those shadows. This is a piece of scrapbooking paper. I'm going to use it to strengthen my photos, to put them in the tea bag. And here is the wax. We are so not going to tell handsome hubby that we brought the wax in the house. No, we're not. So this image that I put a little stamp on, this is for tomorrow's project, but we're going to dip it in wax today. So let's talk about these tea bags. These are tea bags from green tea. I actually get a big box of it from Costco. And I have already brewed this tea, so this is what it looks like before I pull it apart. And what I do is I leave the string and tag on it because that's yummy. And then I go to the end where there's not a seam and I just snip that off. And then I dump the tea out. Okay, we'll just do that like that. Now some of them will hang on to some of the tea. I'm okay with that. I don't mind the little gibbles and bits in the bag. Okay, so that's what the tea bags look like. You may or may not be able to find the green tea, so whatever kind of tea bags you can get your hands on will work fine. Like I say, I do preserve the tag and the string, and that will become more clear. These images are printed just on printer paper, which makes them a little bit too flimsy for my taste. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to glue these images down to that scrapbook paper. Well, how about that for a noise? Good morning. I'm going to glue these down with Mod Podge so that it's got a little bit more stability. if you have images that are printed on cardstock, you can skip this step, but I do not. I thought I did. I don't. I'll put tomorrow's project on here too. Not that I'm a planner, because I'm not. Of course, I got so excited about our project today that I forgot to mention you will need your sewing machine. That's important. And I've brought in the Distress Ink vintage photo as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go in and I'm going to tear these images out. You can cut them, of course. But of course I like that ripped edge. This is tomorrow's project. Trim him up pretty good. Then what you're going to do with each image is just take your Distress Ink and go along the edges. So tear out all of your images, distress the edges, and then we will move on to the next adventure. Boy, that makes a difference, doesn't it? Before I tear out all of my images, I'm going to flip it over, and I am going to put Mod Podge on the back to seal these pieces, okay? I've already ripped my scrapbook paper there by having it stick to some Mod Podge on my work surface, and I'm okay with that because I like the charm it adds to our piece. Alright, gonna let that dry. So what's important is to make sure that your image does fit into your tea bag, and rip it down and so that it does fit. I'm leaving the longer edge of the tea bag intact. I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and I'm going to sew that edge. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to bring that string up, because when I sew her, I want that string caught by the sewing machine so that that string stays up. So I'm going to take it to the sewing machine. I have brown thread, pardon me, I have brown thread in my machine and I'm just leaving that. So once again, I'm going to take this to the sewing machine and I'm going to sew that edge. So there she is, sewn into her tea bag. I'm going to leave the strings attached because I love them and I love what the wax does with those strings. Yummy. Alright, I'm going to do that with the rest of the images. I'm going to cut them down, distress the edge, stick them in a tea bag, and sew them. This is an electric fry pan that I just got at a thrift store, so I didn't pay too much for it. I actually have 2 of them going at all times. It is at 300 degrees. As you can see, it's waxed in place. It's not going anyplace, so it stays at about 300. I'm going to be plugging this in, and then by the time it's melted, I think we can do without the overhead light. Alright, you can see my reflection in the wax. Oh, the things we don't think about. Alright, our wax is nice and melted. So this is the one, for tomorrow's project. So I just want to dip him in take him out. Let him drip a little bit. Then I'm going to put him on my Teflon sheet. Now I'm going to grab the tea bags that we've been playing with that are nice and stitched and have the image in them. And I'm just going to put that tea bag down in there and lift it up. And then as it cools, I can grab the other side and I'm going to dip the string in. Beautiful, right? Okay. Do another one together. And I'm going to just do all 6, just like that. Do you guys want to watch one more? Why not? Love the strings. You know I love the strings. All right, down we go. Up we come. And down we go. And up we come. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, I'm going to finish those. So the Teflon sheet that I'm putting them on will prevent them from sticking, and I'll be able to lift them right up off the Teflon. All right, go create, go play, go have fun.